My foster family of most of my life is kicking me out at 18 to replace me with a younger kid so they can keep getting big checks, and I'm realizing now that's all I was worth to them. I, 18 male, was told earlier today that I need to pack up and leave by the end of the week. I still feel in shock. I was removed from my biological family when I was 7 due to issues with my parents. I was then placed in foster care and then matched with a couple who I will call the Peters. It's not their real name. No matter how much I actually want to blast their real info, I won't. The Peters were always really nice to me, and since I moved in when I was pretty young, after a while I started to consider them my parents. I called them mom and dad, treated them as my parents, treated their biological son as my brother. I wasn't their only foster child. They also have a 9-year-old boy who has lived with us for a little over a year. I was never adopted by them. I know why, because they live off the fostering allowance. Something that never really bothered me. They told me that it didn't matter and that legality didn't make us a family. Which I believed. I went on their agency website earlier today and I found out that they are getting paid at least £2,400 for me per month. Or at least they were. Since I turned 18 they stopped getting the allowance. However, they applied for a staying put arrangement for me, which meant they would continue getting paid something as they continue to support me and let me live with them. It wasn't as much. I think it was like £1,000 per month. They told me they had it approved until I was 21, so I thought I'd be able to stay at least until I finished uni. They sat me down today and told me I had to leave. They told me that fostering is a business and that they couldn't afford to keep me on just the stay put arrangement allowance. They told me I had until the end of the week, 4 days. How generous of them. They said they need my room because they want to get a new foster placement. They literally told me it's not personal. Like that makes me feel any freaking better. They said they would still consider me like a son, not their son anymore. Like a son, and that they want to keep in touch. What a joke. They chose to kick me out. An 18-year-old with no job, no income, no nothing. About to start university. Yet their bio son who is 25 gets to stay? So yeah. I guess screw me, right? I'm just the one no one ever wanted. I guess I wasn't ever truly part of their family. Mini update 1 day later. Okay, thank you guys for all your advice. Honestly, I was in a state of shock yesterday, maybe still am today. I wasn't thinking straight. I only slept 2 hours last night. That's also I'm probably a little delirious today as well. Firstly, I have contacted my personal advisor. He'll have an emergency meeting with me at 1:30, so I'll have more details about what's going to happen to me then. He'll hopefully be able to sort out emergency accommodation for me. Secondly, to those of you saying the Peters can't legally just give me 4 days notice to leave, I will definitely be mentioning this to my PA and get his advice on it. I don't want to stay here any longer than I need to because since they told me it's like I don't exist. They just look right through me. But I'm not going to move out until I have safe accommodation for me. I will outright refuse. I am not going to be made homeless. Thirdly, those of you saying to contact my uni, I have an offer from them but it's only conditional if I get my predicted A levels. Hopefully I will, but since I'm not technically a student yet, I don't know if they will actually provide any support yet. Finally, I am also going to ensure that the staying put allowance stops. I will tell my PA today that it should surely be stopped if I'm not living with them. Luckily I have some money saved. Some people here have said I should be entitled to a bursary when I start uni, and I'll have my maintenance student loan to help me. I've already started looking for a job. Update 5 hours later. Okay, hi everyone. I just got home and I'm feeling incredibly tired, so this is just going to be a short update. Basically I had a big long meeting with my PA and he was very sympathetic and felt upset that the Peters are treating me this way. We had one meeting and then I went to get food while he spoke to the Peters directly, and then I came back to meet him again to let me know everything that has happened. He's putting me on the list for social housing. I am hopeful that it will not be long until I am able to get my own house. I recorded the meeting because I'm so sleep deprived and also I have really bad memory processing for long things like that because of my dyslexia and autism or something, I'm not sure. I can listen to it again tomorrow after I've slept, but from what I gather they will help me with paying for rent costs. I will also get some money to help pay for furniture and things like that. When he spoke to the Peters, I don't know if he said they had to keep me housed for a while or asked them to, I'm not sure. But they've agreed to keep housing me until the end of August. So at least I don't have to worry about everything happening in 3 days' times. He did tell me that if I feel uncomfortable I can be moved into a youth hostel place while they wait for a property to be available for me. But I said if I can I would rather stay with the Peters until I am ready to move, even if it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. He told me they will continue getting paid the staying put allowance until the day I officially move out, and then it will be stopped. On a completely separate note, my best friend and I had a huge argument earlier. He said that I'm being ungrateful, and honestly what he said really hurt me. We had a huge argument. I just thought out of everyone he would get me and understand what I was going through. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. I am really tired, so maybe my emotions are just not being controlled well at the moment. I am going to talk to him tomorrow after I've slept, and I'm hoping this argument will just blow over because I need him at the moment. I don't feel like I have anyone else. Oh, and I haven't read all the comments because I didn't expect to get so many. Thank you everyone who have offered support. It is genuinely so sweet and I am so thankful. Long and unimportant rant the next day. It never bothered me that they were paid to keep me before. Genuinely never bothered me at all. I always knew I was a foster child. I was about 15 when I learnt that they were paid money to look after me. And I told myself it was a good thing. And it probably was. I got loving parents for 11 years, which is more than some people can say. I just didn't ever think they'd make me move out when the payment stopped being as high. I found out that when I was still a child they were paid £111.82 per day for me. That's £40,814 per year. I had never felt different to the family. I'd always felt loved and secure. I don't understand why they have changed their minds about me. None of them will even look at me in the eyes anymore, and it's gotten to the point where I can't leave my room anymore because all I feel is the absence of the love that used to be there. I didn't come down for any meal times, which was a rule that you had to before. If I didn't go down before, I wouldn't have gotten any food. But Mom brought it up to my room and knocked on the door to say she was going to leave it there for me. I've used that 100 times over and over again in my head to try and convince myself that they still love me. I called her by her first name when I came home yesterday. Not Mom, Claire. She looked upset when I did that, and a part of me is happy about that and a part of me feels cruel for it. I knew it would hurt her and I did it anyway. In some ways I wish she wakes up to the pain she's causing me. I hope she takes it back and says that it is a lapse in judgment and that she loves me and wants me to stay. But if that were going to come, I think it would have already. I guess I'm not worth the 76 pounds per day they lose by not replacing me with another foster child. When I feel bad about hurting them, I remind myself they're kicking me out to get an extra 76 pounds a day. That's what I'm worth to them. 76 pounds per day. OP makes a new post later that day. Would I be the jerk for going no contact with the family that raised me for 11 years? So as you know, the Peters told me that I had to leave by the end of the week because they wanted to get another foster child, and it's been extremely difficult for me. I had to get in contact with my social worker who spoke with the Peters, and now they're letting me stay until the end of August, but the whole family has changed. I explained all this to my best friend, and I said I was considering going no contact with them after I moved out. He ranted to me about how ungrateful I'm being to them, and how they raised me for 11 years and now they want to give that to another child in a position like I was. I get that, and that's part of the reason why I feel so guilty. My friend isn't speaking to me now, calling me selfish for wanting to stay with the Peters like I was promised, and for them trying to get rid of me with 4 days' notice. There were plans they could have taken to transition me into independent living before I turned 18, and they chose not to take part in them because they told me I could always stay with them. The one time of my life I needed my friend, and he's gone now too, and I feel so alone, and I can't understand why he's taking their side over mine. I understand the argument that they will continue to help another child, but at the same time I just wish they didn't have to throw me out to do so. When I suggested to my friend they could have asked their bio son to move out instead of me, and he just said I'm being selfish. I still don't even know if I'm going to go no contact with them. I just said I felt like doing it, and I wish I didn't even say that because I didn't expect it to cause such an argument. Does this make me the jerk for considering this? Third update: 2 days later, the Peters found my Reddit posts. The Peters' son, Jamie, has found my original Reddit post. I guess I should have been more careful with the details, but my mind was so frantic at the point of writing it I just couldn't think straight. I'm not sure how he found it, but considering it is almost 10k upvotes and Jamie was the person who introduced me to Reddit, I guess it might have just popped up on his page. A few hours ago Jamie came to my room. He showed me the original post and asked if I had written it. At first I tried to deny it, but I'm an awful liar, so he just knew. He asked why I didn't tell him about this, and I said I thought he knew. He told me he had no idea and would not have supported his parents throwing me out if he did. He was told I requested to move out. He genuinely seemed shocked and appalled at the details in the post. Against my wishes he shared the posts in the family group chat. He did this out of a place of wanting to defend me. Mom, Dad, I really think you should read this and see the impact this is having on OP, but I really wish he didn't do it. They've both read the message but neither have responded. I have not left my room since. I'm really anxious right now. Like I'm at the level before a panic attack. I can feel one coming on. Fourth update: the next day. What I'm going to send in the family group chat: is this a bad idea? To Matt and Claire. I came to you as a 7-year-old. A 7-year-old who had never felt love or affection, or anything remotely nice. I was taught at a young age to fear those in authority. To fear the sudden changes in the moods of my birth parents. I was taught to bottle up my emotions and my pain and never show it. When I first came to you, my life was ruled by fear and anxiety. I know my behaviors back then were awful, were a struggle to manage. I had been taught there were no consequences for some actions. And firm, scary and hard consequences for others. The worst part was that those actions never seemed to be consistent. I could do something one day and be praised by my birth family, and another day I would be beaten. Love was not something given, it was something earned. It was conditional and shallow. You both showed me another way. You showed me love and affection, and at first it felt confusing and hard to comprehend. I couldn't see myself as anything more than a nuisance. I couldn't see why someone would love me. I couldn't understand why you weren't beating me. Do you remember me telling you can hit me if I be naughty, I won't mind? Slowly you taught me to trust and love myself, and those around me. You showed me that no matter what I did, you wouldn't give up on me. You wouldn't send me away or hate me. And I really tried to make you. I know that. I was scared. You made me realize that it wasn't my own fault I was in care, and that I wasn't to blame for the things that happened to my birth family. You showed me appropriate outlets to my fears. You showed me love, compassion, and kindness. The first day I remember feeling truly safe was when I was sitting in your arms at 8 years old watching Shrek. I still think back to that moment. It probably just felt like another day to you, but to me, it is a core memory in my life. It's a moment that shapes the way I see myself. You sat up with me when I was worried about moving up to secondary school. You comforted me when my birth mom told me she no longer wanted to be part of my life. You were there when so-and-so broke up with me when I was 15 years old and I felt like my whole world was ending again. You encouraged me to go beyond with my studies and apply to university. The most important thing you showed me was that I was worthy of being loved and respected. You never gave up on me. I am who I am today because of what you did. I look at myself and I see compassion, and care, and kindness. And in those traits I see you. You weren't my birth family, but you were my family. My only family. I don't know what changed. Why has there been a switch? Why have you gone from the loving and caring parents you were? When I leave my room now, I no longer feel that love and kindness that brought me out of the pits of despair as a child. It's almost as if you have completely altered the way you see me, and I just can't understand why. A few days ago you told me I had to move out. You gave me 4 days notice to leave my family. You sent me back into feeling like that child at 7 years old. I'm not saying this to guilt you or to ask you to let me stay. That has passed now, and unfortunately I don't think I'll ever be able to see you the same way again. I understand if you were hard on money or if you wanted to help another child like me. But why not talk to me? Why spring it on me and then act like I don't matter? Why tell me it's just business? Did you think that would make it hurt less? Since you told me my whole life has been turned upside down and I don't know how I will make it to the other side. If I had felt like this a few weeks ago, do you know who I would have gone to? I would have gone to you. I would have told you my worries and my fears, and you would have said the exact right thing, and then we'd sit together and watch some awful TV show. And now, I have no one again. I feel like I'm being told for the second time in my life that I don't deserve a family. And this time I have no one to pick me up off the edge. That was always you, Mom and Dad. It was always you I could rely on. Why are you giving up on me now? Fifth update the next day, I've contacted my PA, and I'm moving out today. My PA is allowing me to store my things I can't take with me in his garage. It's very nice of him. He's found me a place at a local hostel. I'll get my own room apparently, which was a big deciding factor on if I wanted to move in or not. The hostel works with the LA and houses a lot of care leavers, the English term for someone who has aged out of foster care, while they wait for their own houses. I haven't sent the message yet, but I know my foster brother Jamie has seen it. Yesterday I felt overwhelming emotions, today I feel none. I don't know which is better. I'll send it once I'm moved out. I have a room, so I'll be gone in a few hours. I still haven't spoken to them, but I just can't face it anymore. I am sick of being anxious and stressed about this. I guess they did get their 4-day notice after all. Edit 1. I have just left the Peters house for the last time. The room is ready for me at the hostel. I feel so weird and sad and lonely right now. I've ordered myself a pizza to have for dinner today, and my PA even paid for it. I just want to get in bed and cry. My head is spinning thinking about everything I need to do. Wish me luck, everyone. Edit 2. I want to clarify something. I was hurt and in shock when I wrote my first post, but I want to make it understood that I was never eligible to be adopted. At first, the end goal for me was to reintegrate me into my birth family. By the time we knew that was never going to happen, I wouldn't have accepted adoption as I wanted to keep my legal ties with my birth family. The Peters always told me it didn't matter that I didn't want to be adopted, and they loved me the same anyway. Maybe it wouldn't have changed anything, or maybe it would have. They were paid fortnightly for caring for me, and they would get £1,565 and 48 pence. That's £40,702 and 48 pence per year they got just to raise me, which is about $52,295.77. I keep thinking about that number. Was that all I was? I wonder what I would change if I could go back in time. Edit 3. I am settled in the hostel now. It's not exactly luxury, to say the least. But at least I'm here now. I sent the text message, very slightly altered from the one I wrote yesterday. And then I left the group chat. I also posted it on Facebook. That was probably the wrong thing to do. I don't know. Final update in that same post. This is going to be my final update on all of this. I want to put everything behind me. Claire rang me crying, saying she had no idea I felt like this. How? How could she not know? She said she was sorry and begged me to come back. God, how do I ruin everything? She was telling me all these things about how she regrets the past few days so much and wishes she could take it all back. I said this is not fair. She cannot throw me out and then call me crying. I said it's manipulative. She just kept saying sorry. She said she loves me and wants me to come home. Jesus. This is just a lie, right? She must have known. Am I the bad person here? I feel so confused I don't know what to do. I just hung up and then she started texting me and I blocked her. But now I feel like I'm the bad person here. I'm so tired of this. Of all of this. I want nothing to do with any of them. I don't think Reddit is good for me. I'm not sure any of this is good for me. I'm going to delete the app. Sorry everyone. Sixth update 2 days later, the Peters have a new foster boy living with them already. When I brought up my concerns about them potentially doing the same thing they did to me to another child, I was told they were going to be given extra guidance and support when children reach 17 or 18 and ensuring everyone is on the same page about staying put orders. That's it. Nothing else. Extra guidance. That's all. Extra guidance. Is that even a slap on the wrist? My PA told me that they were unfortunately within their rights to ask me to leave after I turned 18. I said about how they told me it was a business decision and they told me that unfortunately financial does come into decisions like this. Is that all I am? A financial decision? Does this system seem fair to anyone? I feel like I'm losing my mind. There should be more of a punishment for them. I'm not saying they should be banned from fostering again, but I don't know. I still feel all in a tizzy, my mind is just going crazy. I keep saying I'm not going to add anything else to this account, but I genuinely have no one else to talk to about this. Jamie, as nice as he is, doesn't understand me. And my friend just doesn't get it at all. Little update 1 week later. It's been a little while since my last post. I'm not sure why I'm even posting now. I'm just feeling really depressed today and I should be feeling happy. I want to get this out the way first. You may have noticed I deleted everything on here. That was intentional. I want to move on. I haven't had any contact with any of the Peters family since Jamie and I had our argument. I don't want anyone to interact with Jamie if he posts more. He is just attention seeking. If people have a copy of what Jamie wrote, I would appreciate it if you deleted them or didn't share them anywhere. The stuff he shared about me, it was just to hurt me. It was some of the most shameful things I ever did, so I can understand if you don't want to support me after you read what it. If you do feel that way, just know I'm really sorry for what I did as a child. It isn't who I am now, and it wasn't who I was then. I'm sorry if I hurt or mislead anyone, that wasn't my intention. The Peters have a new foster child already living with them. I mentioned this before, but when I said I wanted it on their record that they tried to kick me out with no notice, I was told they would be given extra guidance if they have a child living with them start the process to aging out. I'm in two minds because honestly I feel like that is just a slap on the wrist and thing else. But at least someone will be watching over them in the future when one of their other foster children gets to 18. I have some good news today. My PA got in contact with my first choice university, which is also the uni he went to, and he somehow got them to convert their conditional offer into an unconditional offer, which means no matter what grades I get from my A-levels I get to study there. I don't even know how he managed to do it. I am so grateful for it. He's also got them to explain all the support I get as a care leaver, which is great. They're giving me free accommodation for the first year, which has released a huge stress for me because I had no clue how I was going to get to uni each morning, and they're going to lower the passing grade boundaries for me in my first year, though I hope I won't need this. I want to be getting good grades, and they're giving me a starter pack of important things I will need for my first year. Even though all those good things are happening for me, I just don't feel happy. I'm trying not to show it, but I actually really worried about starting uni, and I used to have the Peters to help me, and Claire especially used to give me a lot of emotional support. I really feel like I'm missing part of myself. I feel stupid saying this, and you guys are probably going to tell me it's stupid, but I just went the other day and watched the Peters house from afar. They didn't know I was there, but I could see into the living room window and they were just acting normal, and the new foster child was there also. I literally sat there for a few hours just watching. I really want to go and speak to them, but I know it's a bad idea. I shouldn't want them back, but I do. I feel really isolated, which is probably why I've come back here to post. 7th update 20 days later, I received a letter today telling me to cease speaking about the Peters online or face potential legal action. I wasn't even planning on posting from this account again. I haven't posted in almost 2 weeks and have no way of contacting the Peters, but they clearly watch this account. So I just want to put out there that I will not be scared into silence. I will not be threatened or bullied. If I want to speak my story, I will. I have not named any individual or family in any of my posts. None of my posts have been lies, and I have always spoken only from my own perspective. I don't know why you've sent this letter to me, but I assume you're feeling empowered by the fact that my official complaint went nowhere. However, I want to remind the Peters that I have a screenshot of the post Jamie wrote about me on Reddit, exposing my legal first name and confidential and private information about my life. I did not include this information in my initial complaint, but you know as well as I do, if I choose to pass that on, you will be in deep crap. I don't want to be part of your lives anymore. You clearly do not want to be part of mine, so let's just leave it there. Do not try to threaten me again, otherwise I will expose everything I can. I will write a whole damn book about my experiences in care and publish it if that's what I want to do. Final goodbye 3 days later. I'm sorry everyone. It's true that I am not a good person. I have done truly awful things that I just want to forget, but I can't. All your support over the last month has meant so much to me, and I don't think I would be here writing this today without it. I have done awful things in my past, really awful things. Things I am so ashamed of. I wish more than anything I could change my life. I wish I could alter the things I've done. People hear my past and they think I am some monster, some unfeeling freak. Maybe at the time I was, I don't know. The truth is I don't deserve all the love you guys give me. I don't deserve any of it. And no matter how I try to move forward, I know someone will always be there to remind me of my mistakes. It's so embarrassing people talking about your trauma all the time, and I know I started it by posting here. I wish I never did. I am starting to think maybe I'm having a psychotic break. I am really worried about myself. I hope you people understand that the things I did, that person, it wasn't me. It wasn't who I am now. I don't expect people to forgive me because what I did to innocent people and animals is unforgivable. I am going to log off this account after today, and I don't think I will log back in again. It's too embarrassing seeing your past mistakes brought up again and again and again. I just want to be left alone and forget any of this happened. New update over 2 months later. Hi guys, you are probably all sick of me saying this is my last post only for me to post once again. But I ended my last post in such a negative place. I wanted to give you all an update to 1, say I'm okay, and 2, to tell you things are looking up for me. It's my birthday today, 25th of October, and I'm 19. I'm just having a relaxing evening. I might order myself Indian later, but I'm not sure yet. This is my first birthday without the Peters since I was 7. All of the Peters messaged me happy birthday today, as if I was just what? Going to forgive and forget and message them back? I probably should block them all, but they message me occasionally, and as unhealthy as it is, I enjoy reading those messages. I don't know if the Peters still monitor this account, but they sent me a letter from a solicitor's telling me I had to stop posting about them. I am calling them on their bull crap though. University is going well for me. I am finding it hard, I won't lie to any of you. But I am enjoying it. I've made some friends in my course, but mainly with those who are living in my halls. I have my reading week this week, and I'm planning on getting ahead for my first assignment, which isn't due until January. But I thought better to have it done earlier rather than later. I have a date next Wednesday. We're going to see Joker 2, although I have heard it's really bad. And I am hopeful about that. I've been on one date with him before, last week, and I really had a good time, the best time I've had in ages. He paid last time, so I guess it's my turn to pay now? I don't really know how it works, but I think that's right. I wasn't allowed to date when I was living with the Peters, so this is my first time. I'm not sure why I thought I was having a psychotic break last time I posted, but I suppose it was just because of stress. I wasn't, and I am feeling a lot better now in general. It's kind of embarrassing that I thought I was having a psychotic break. I hope you guys don't judge me too harsh for it, lol. This is actually going to be the last time I post on this account, at least for a while. I might come and update you guys in a year if you guys want that. I'm not sure if you would even remember me then, but I like using this space to talk and vent when I need it. I can't remember if I mentioned this, but in my A-levels I got all A's and I was so proud of myself. I'm currently watching the Agatha All Along show on Disney+, although I pirate it, Disney doesn't need my money, and I am very excited for the finale on Halloween next week. People recommend some other TV shows or books to read. Someone said for me to watch Lost, but I've heard mixed things about it. I really fought with my PA to get visits with Levi, who was the 9-year-old foster boy who lived with me at the Peters that I mentioned in my very first post. The Peters tried to block it at every chance they got, but I reached out to his social worker personally, who's a really decent guy, and he managed to get it pushed through for me. It's on Monday the 28th, and I am very nervous about it. It will be the first time I've seen him since I moved out, but I think the Peters will also be there at least to drop him off and pick him up, which is going to be really nerve-wracking for me. I think they expected that I would just give up after they tried to block it so much, but I didn't, so I can't back out now. But on the whole, things are going so much better for me now. I feel really good about myself and about life. I'm happy and hopeful about the future.